Hello, my dear friends. As part of the Heart to Soul inspirational series of short videos, this is video 13, and the title of this video is titled Joy. Joy is an important aspect to our spiritual life in our search for the divine oneness, that supreme being of love. And I would like to share with you a quote from a great master, a great spiritual master. And this is what Sri Chinmoy says. Real joy means immediate expansion. If we experience pure joy, immediately our heart will expand. We will spread our wings and feel that we are flying in the divine freedom sky. The entire length and breadth of the world will become ours, not for us to rule over, but as an expansion of our consciousness. We will become reality and vastness. And he leaves us with a beautiful quote. You cannot bind inner joy. The very nature of inner joy is expansion, expansion, expansion. And I hope to run a free webinar for several weeks, a spiritual retreat combining the wisdom and the inspired teachings of Francis of Assisi and Sri Chinmoy as a combined gift of my heart to yours. And again, this retreat will have no notes. It will be divinely guided by these two great spiritual men, masters, teachers, mystics. So what does Matthew Fox have to say about joy? Well, Matthew says, firstly the Upanishads say, joy comes from God. From joy all beings have come, and unto joy they all return. The Upanishads got it right. All the spiritual traditions of the world promise joy. Joy is not the opposite of suffering or pain. Joy is what sees us through both, says Matthew Fox. But let us look at some of the traditions, the spiritual traditions, of what they say about joy. In Hinduism we learn that joy comes from God. Who could live and who could breathe if the joy of Brahman filled not the universe? And he says, Father, explain to me the mystery of Brahman. Then his father spoke to him of the food of the earth, of the breath of life, of the one who really sees, of the one who really hears, of the mind that knows, and of the one who truly speaks. Then he saw that Brahman is joy, Ananda, bliss. For from joy all beings have come, and unto joy they all return. And in the Upanishad we read that he who knows the joy of Brahman fears no more. Bliss pervades all objects. That is why there is attraction between husband and wife, parents and children, creatures and the Creator, God and man. Furthermore, Brahman is bliss because it is infinite. And another great Hindu teacher, Mananda Moy, says, laugh as much as you can. It is important that your laughter comes from the deepest place of your heart. It should go from head to foot. Your laughter will diffuse joy everywhere. Well, this is making me giggle inside myself, because before my dear friend died, a brother monk that I'd known for 28 years, who brought such tears to my eyes when we laughed for hours and hours and hours, and then we ached. Have you ever laughed where every muscle in your body aches and you can take no more? You're screaming for them to stop. Well, when Brother Eddie was alive and he used to come and stay with us when I had a retreat house in Llandudno, North Wales, he would arrive on the Friday and depart on the Monday, and all I can say is hardly any sleep was had. But the laughter, my word, we laughed and laughed, and we cried so much that when we held each other in love, that was a prayer. Oh, I bet there was great rejoicing in heaven. And you know, I haven't laughed as much as that until recently, when one of our beautiful sisters came to join us for an overnight stay. Sister Diane and I, we were giggling away like two school children in the kitchen, and you know, I ate with so much joy. I was crying and laughing at the same time. And yet, the divine was present. Joy isn't something that is flippant. Joy comes from the well springs of the soul. Joyful contemplation is carried into everyday life, including the life of worship. And that's what I feel has gone wrong today. Man has become serious. And the culture we live in, it's so politically correct. Our daily lives have become an uphill struggle. And someone has to make the decision and say enough. There are more rules and regulations about observing rules and regulations. It reminds me of my brothers and sisters within the Abrahamic faith, Christian, Jew and Muslim. And I guess that is the reason why the Divine Feminine spoke to our heart on the 6th of February, to hold Jerusalem, the heart chakra of the world, in prayer, and to send special love to the hearts and the mindsets of our brothers and sisters within the Abrahamic faith communities. 3 of the world major religions, 3 great world religions. But what sadly has happened is that they observe the letter of the law. The spirit of God's love has been compromised on the altars of ego, because their belief is predominantly male. They're working with masculine energy, and they've compromised the divine feminine energy of God. So there's an imbalance, and their prayer is repetitive, it's ritual, and it's based on centuries of tradition. There's an unwillingness to listen, an unwillingness to move forward. And there is very little joy in their worship. It's serious, it's heavy. It's not impulsive. It's fear-ridden. And if you should suggest a way forward, you're immediately ostracized, as I was here in the village 4 years ago, when one of our friends of the community, a Buddhist, came and chanted the most beautiful chant to Lord Maitreya. It was Good Friday. We ran a beautiful retreat working with the energies of Jesus. And though most of us were Christian, there were a few who were atheist. But we had a beautiful day. But sadly, one of the churchgoers who was doing the flowers heard the chant, and okay, it was quite loud, and I almost shuddered. But it was joyful, it was peaceful, it was loving, it was sacred. But of course she went and reported us, and we got banned for not being Christian. And that I found very challenging and very sad. So our worship must be joyful, and that's why I love being a member of this community, the Teo community, because we're from all different faiths, so we bring a richness and a diversity into our divine worship. But there's joy, and when we sing the Sufi prayer that France has adopted, may the blessing of God come upon us, wow, it's like having a spiritual hokey pokey or hokey cokey. There is love, there is laughter, and there is joy. Thank you. Peace.